Hey viewers, welcome to another episode of Working Smart with Adewumi Elizabeth on Flip TV. Today we are going to be meeting an exciting entrepreneur. Stay with me.
My name is Owolabi David Olusoya. I am from Kwara State, Oreke Okegbo to be precise. I grew up in Igbaja. I was born in Igbaja. My life is in Igbaja. My life is in Kwara. Before I came to Lagos, I went to NC, Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, and that's where I stopped.
Culture and tradition is the lifestyle of people. It speaks a lot about history and how it has regulated the activities of old and ancient. It is, however, embedded in the lives and values of those before us and has been a part of their technology and tastes. Pottery and ceramics in Nigeria gives us a taste of history and transcends us to the experiences and encounters of our ancestors. Their everyday lives has been characterized by the objects and vessels used in their time. Our chat with famous potter, a university graduate and a teacher whose passion is set on bringing to life the southwestern culture through the use of pottery, regenerating the technology of that era used for livelihood. It tells us more about how he ventured into this honorable act.
Pottery right now, but as an art student, I can do so many things. I major in sculpture to finish from school, but right now I do pottery, I do ceramics. So clay is my medium of expression. You can call me a potter, you can call me a ceramic artist, whichever pleases you, but I'm an artist.
A look into his studio located at Oluwole Ogba. We were enlivened by the arrays of art and the display of creativity with the relay of ancient items and vessels.
This is double pottery. I manage double pottery. And when we say double pottery, we produce pots for gardens, for church altars, for homes, and name them for kitchenwares, those. But when you say Olabi, I relive indigenous clay craftsmanship. So when we talk about indigenous now, here we come with pots that have history, not just pots that you can plant in, but pots that tells history. What do they use pots for in those days? Now, when I was much younger, I grew up in Igbaja, like I said. I made a pot which I titled Ayodi. Ayodi is a river. I just titled the pot Ayodi. So when I was much younger, I saw women carrying pots on their head, go to the river, fetch water with the pots. The same way, I have a pot that I name Awere. Awere is another river in Oreke Okegbo. Now, those women go down the river, fetch water, and put on their head, bring down to the town or the village for kitchen use. Now I look at those women, I look at the pot, I was so fascinated. Now, those history, those ways of living are being taken over by the Western way of living. Nobody goes to the river again to fetch water. It's made easier now. From the tap, the water comes out. But that history, where are we going to put it? Are we just going to let it go like that? So that's why I said, okay, let me do something that I'll be able to write down that in the Yoruba land, women goes to the river, fetch water with the pot, and they call it water pot. They put it on their head, go to the river, and bring the water. So this pot now is the way the potter made it to be a very special thing. If you put water inside that water, that water is pure and is specially made for that purpose. Unlike when you have water somewhere else, I don't know. Now, this there is another pot called Amu. This Amu now is a water storage pot. That one is not used to fetch water. It's a water storage pot. In the water storage pot, the water there is cooler and of course has a very good taste. So those are two pots I'm talking about now. And I'm going to talk about isasu. Very healthy for cooking. People move away from it. But the earthenware, for crying out loud, is good. You can Google it. You can Google the benefit of using earthenware as in maybe water pots or as in cooking. I started around 1994. That's like some 20 something years, maybe 24 years back. So I started pottery gradually, and before you know it, we have gone places. After school, I started with teaching. I was an art teacher. Up till now, I still teach, but I teach on contracts. I don't stay in the classroom. I don't like to stay in the classroom. In as much I love children, but I don't want to stay in the classroom now because there are so many things I want to do outside that my time will not allow me if I have to go into the classroom. I teach fine arts. I teach both upper school and I teach both lower school. So that is that. Now, we still have to go more into history because there are other pots for different purposes. When I was much younger, my grandmother told a story to my mommy. So my mommy told me the story. Then, my grandmother is from Oko Irise in Kwara State, very close to mine. So she's a potter. She was a potter. My mother was. So in those days, if you are to, there are two ways they sell their wares, their pottery wares. On the market, they take the pots to the market square where people can come and buy. But this there is another way. They put their pots by the roadside, apart from going to the market. So they put the particular money they are going to sell on the pot, so that when you come, you can say, oh, this is Oduru or Nini. Those are Yoruba figures in money. Now, if you come, you like a pot, you put your money there. Probably those money may be in cowrie, then you put your money. So there is a particular pot I made in that respect that I call Ajewole. So Ajewole is a particular pot to collect money from buyers. They keep money inside it. So if I will talk about another pot, I'll talk about Oru. Oru now, O-R-U, is a popular Yoruba pot. But a lot of people doesn't know that very particular pot has has a number of uses, and then that pot is highly spiritual. If we are going to cook herbs for babies, most especially for children, for a pregnant woman, and from a disease that is severe, we use Oru. Having put in the concoction in the Oru, I tell you, the Oru has a supernatural power. It will heal. Now, the other purpose for Oru is they use Oru in keeping money. You keep money inside Oru. You keep clothes inside Oru. But when we talk about that now, it has to be in sizes, depending on what you want to use the Oru for. I've attended several exhibitions. When I started, I joined SIPAN, Craft Potters Association of Nigeria. Now there is Potters Guild. That is a new group. So SIPAN has lifted me a lot. We had several exhibitions. We exhibited in Abuja, exhibited in all parts of Nigeria. Then SIPAN has taken us abroad. We exhibited in the Scandinavia, Sweden, and Norway. So through SIPAN, we learned a lot and we went places, and it's still ongoing. And Potters Guild is always there. It's also there, coming up, training the younger ones on ceramics. Oh, I've not done any solo exhibition, but I'm planning a solo exhibition, which I think it will happen this year. It's supposed to happen around this time, but because of COVID, You have to really study people and study what is going on in the country so that we can fix a better time because we want numbers of people to come. Profitable profit. I tell you, I'm not going to lie to you now. As an artist, having gone into the cultural aspect because I want to kind of relieve indigenous clay artwork. Clay work, pottery. Pottery thrown on the wheel, fire in the kiln for useful purposes. You know, I get a lot of audience. Online, people order for isasu. They want to cook with isasu. They want to go back to those days. Then I tell you, pottery is the easiest way to start a business because the nature of our country, you go down the bush, pick your clay free of charge, build your kiln, fire in it, and sell. So don't tell me there is no job in Nigeria. Get a clay if you are talented, if you are creative. Get clay and start working, start making money. I made a lot of money from pottery. My children go to good school. I live in a good apartment. And God will have it. My own project is going on. So what makes me different from every other potters is like people made pots for sale to get money. That is good. But I'm coming from an historical background of pottery. I'm coming from indigenous clay craftsmanship. I don't want the story to die. I don't want people to tell a story. Once upon a time, they are making pots in Nigeria. I don't want people to say, my hometown, my mommy's hometown, they made pot there a lot. I don't want to say there was a time that they are making pot in Okwere in Kwara State. I want history to say that some people are making pot there and that some people from that lineage that are still making pots. It's not everything about money. You need to survive, but you need to put African culture down for the children to know about. This pot is a farmer's storage pot. Now, in those days, I used to see this kind of pots, though not this big. I try to enlarge it. They tie it at the inside the kitchen where they cook, so it's under the fire. So I was thinking that is juju. I was now asking my mommy, what is that? She now told me àgbàdo tí bàbá ẹ máa gbìn for the next rainy season ló wà nínú ẹ̀. And I said, why is it under the fire? So that insects cannot come on it. So this is a farmer's storage pot, and the holes on it is just to make air go inside a little. So this pot is a farmer's storage pot. And there is another pot that looks like this. They call it ajere. That one I'm researching to tell the meaning. But there's another pot because the whole they call it ajere is highly spiritual. I know they use it for a spiritual purpose, but I won't be able to tell you that. But this pot is a farmer storage pot, and it's usually tied up under the cooking area where they set fire on the pot. You know, arrow. That's where they cook in those days in Yoruba. They put firewood, so they tie it up. Not this big, but for the sake of art, I make it big and I smoke fire it. So it's a farmer storage pot. In the next 10-20 years, I see myself having a center to train younger ones on how to make pots and how to keep Nigerian history. A kind of resource center for children and for anybody that wants to know more about African culture as its pottery. This at the corner here, this is Awere. This is a water pot. This kind of pot is carried on the head of the local women, the rural women, to go and fetch water at the river. So this can contain some 25 liters. So that is aware. That's what I call aware. Here, by my right hand side, this is oru. This oru is not for the herb. This oru is for keeping things. Take for example, clothes. This is a big oru for keeping clothes in those days. And this is ajewole. Look at the ajewole. You can see cowrie on it, very beautiful, and smoked fire. This is smoked fire. This is ajewole, meant to collect money from the buyers of pottery, of pots. And this is ayodi. This is from Igbaja. You can see that there are similarities between them. They have the same shape, but from different area, but for the same purpose. This is ayodi from Igbaja. This is what they used to fetch water from, ayodi. And this is another ajewole for collecting money. This is very traditional. I got this from my mommy's compound in Oko, Irise. So, and I'm keeping this for history. I actually found nobody to tell me what it means, but this is from decade. This is from Oko, Irise, from my mommy's compound there, and we have the storage pot there. That's all.
He, however, took us to his workshop and gave us some lessons on pottery making.
So this is our studio, and here we have our clay. This clay is processed, and we want to knead now, getting ready to throw. So we have a cutting wire. This is one of the tools we use. This is made from fishing line, so it can cut clay easily. So it can cut clay easily. So here we need kneading has to be going on before this final one. We have been kneading gradually, so this is the final kneading to throw. Now, I have to set, Doctor, please set the bat. Now, before I start throwing, this wheel has been with me for close to 20 years. And this wheel, we had the story of this wheel from SIPAN, Craft Potters Association of Nigeria. They called this wheel Slave and Master from Ghana. So there was a white man, Michael Cardio, I think, came to Ghana, want to train them on pottery. So they have to invent this type of wheel while somebody is going to kick and somebody is going to throw. So they call it Slave and Master. But when this wheel came into Nigeria, the Craft Potters Association of Nigeria changed the name to You and I. So this is a you and I kind of wheel. We have other wheel. We have the one that use pedal called kick wheel. We have electric wheel. We have maybe others. But this is what I use. And I embark on this type because of the situation of the country. The power is not always there to power electric wheel. So for my work to go on, I need to get a you and I wheel, while I need to get somebody in the studio. Of course, we are like 5 in this studio, and all of us are working together. Now, drawing. Center your work first. Center your clay, right? Center your clay. The amount of clay you put on the wheel, the kg, depends on how big you want your pot or your vase. So you make sure there's water. That's good. That's good. Now I want to open. You open up. You choose an easier way to open your ball. Wait. There's a lump, and I have to pick it out. There's a lump there. So let's go. Let's go faster. Okay. Pulling out. The thickness? Yes, I can feel the thickness in my hand. It depends on what you want to use the object for. It's not supposed to be too thick, especially if glaze is coming on it. It has to be a thin wall because the glaze itself is heavy and the pot is not supposed to be too heavy. So it depends on what you want to use it for. But this is supposed to be a cooking pot. So it's not supposed to be too thin. The wall is not supposed to be too thin. Slow down. This is greenware because it's very wet. We call this greenware. So we are going to put it down. You don't necessarily have to sun dry it. You just let it dry naturally. Then it's going to be leather hard. When it's leather hard, you can now turn and dress the base, dress the body, and put the design on it. After that, it's bone dry. When it's bone dry, it's ready for firing. We fire to 850 degrees centigrade for this kind of earthenware. If you want to use it for something else, maybe you need a stone where it can fire higher. So that is about it. Okay, this pot here is actually going to 5 feet. I call this Yoruba at the King's Palace. This is number 5 series of Yoruba. I've sold 4. This is number 5. If you look at the picture on it, it shows people dancing, and the African etching around it symbolizes all these African motifs. And that's what you get. That's how we decorate our things. Go on people that does very good African art. You see all these motifs, and you see people dancing, because early in the morning, if the king is going to enthrone, or anytime the king is going to enthrone, there are drummers, there are dancers. On your Ife, Baba Yeye. Go there, when you see him coming to the throne, you see the kind of welcoming with dance, with drums. So this spot is actually called Yoruba number 5 series.
I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things from our guest today. Stay tuned and keep liking, commenting, and of course subscribe. I am Adewumi Elizabeth. Keep working hard, keep working smart. Bye-bye.